Welcome to Dittofi. My name is Ugo, and I'm a solutions architect for Dittofi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to perform a CSV import into a database table. So as you can see here, I created a new table called food menu. It has a name, date, price, and amount. And this information is going to be populated by this CSV file that I have here. So this CSV file was given to me by a friend, and he wants me to upload it into his application table. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So the first step is to create a backend action. So we'll go to the backend action page. Then we'll create a new action. We're going to call it import CSV. And click enter. Then we can add a trigger. It's going to be an endpoint. All right. So in this endpoint, we want to pass the file that is uploaded to this endpoint. So in order to do this, we click the plus button. Then the kind is going to be a file. And we can call it input. Call it input. And we click save. And then the request method has to be a post, because we want some files can be really big. So it's always best to use for very large files. It's always best to use the request method post. Then the request content type has to be a multi-part form data. So this is how the browser has to send information like files. It has to be a multi-part form data. You cannot send a JSON or any other type, because in order the protocol used to transfer files in the internet, it's always best to use the multi-part form data. So it's going to streamline. For large files, it's going to break it down into little bits and then send it one after the other. So the multi-part form data is the best protocol for sending files. Then the next step is to add an event. So what we need to add is like what we call a CSV reader. So we need to be able to read the CSV file. So we click on CSV reader. Then we pass the file from the endpoint into the CSV reader. And then we need to tell Dittofi how the structure or what the structure of the file looks like. So in order to create this structure, we need to create what we call a custom model. So we can go to the custom model page. Then we create a new custom model. Let's call it food menu model. Click save. Then we need to add some attributes into the food menu custom model. So I think the first thing was the date, and we're saving it as text. So click save. The next one is the name of the food item. So name, text. Next one is the price. As you can see, we have to be careful. The price is a number, but it's a number decimal. And so we have to use that particular kind, number and price, the number decimal. Then the last one is the amount. As you can see, the amount is just a number, no decimals. So the amount, just a number. Click save. Nice. Let's just click save one more time. Then we go back to the backend action. Then we select the custom model. We can call it anything, CSV or food menu. Food menu. Call it food menu. Food menu model. Click save. And then we want to, so the information after the CSV file is processed, we need to save it somewhere. So we can call it, so this is going to create a new variable for us. So we can just simply call it response. So we click save. Then we add an event inside. So once the CSV file is read, we want to use information and create records in our database table. So what we do is we'll click the create database request. as a model. We select the food menu table where we want to save the information. Then we click on assign, we click on choose field, want the amount, want to pass the date as well, the name and the price. So the ID can be automatically created by Dittofi for us. So the amount, we just simply use the custom model we created. So we pass the amount, the custom model we created, food, and price, date. Yep. Then name, and then price. Yep. So food menu the amount, food menu the date, food menu the name, food menu the price. I just simply call it new food menu. Then we click save. All right, so we're done with the backend. So this should be able to populate the thing for us. So what we need to do now is now go to the front end and create the upload button. So the first step is you can just title the page. So I created a new page, upload CSV. Then I'm gonna add some information into it. So let's just make things look nice a little bit. Container, use a bootstrap class container LG. Then we add a heading inside. Let's add a heading inside. We'll call it food menu upload. Then let's add another container element. Use the bootstrap class container LG to add some margin and padding. Then we're gonna add an upload button inside it. So let's find, so we have this file upload button. So I typed file. Let's add a button underneath it. Yep. And let's add a paragraph underneath it. Let's copy this. Paste it inside the div. Yeah. All right. So, but before we go on, so first of all, we have to create what we call an app variable. So, a variable is simply a unit of storage we want that is going to be created in the user's memory, like your hard drive. So we want to create an app variable because when the user clicks on the upload file button and the file is uploaded, we want to store it temporarily somewhere. So we create what we call an app variable. Then we call it, let's call it food menu file. Then it kind of has to be a file. Click save. Then we have to bind it to the upload file button. Now, in order to do this, please watch carefully. So we click on the upload file, click on navigator, then we click on the file upload input. As you can see, the upload file is selected. We click on file upload input. Then we come and click the cog icon. Then we bind it to the app variable that we just created, which is the food menu file. And that's fine. Then now we need to create what we call a front-end action. So front-end action, these are actions that are listens for user interaction. So when the user clicks on the button, we need something to trigger the endpoint that we created in the backend. So that's the purpose of the front-end action, is to call the backend endpoint. So let's call it upload food menu. Click enter. So we need to add an event. So this event, first event we need to add is the run endpoint event, which is the endpoint we just created. Is it the import CSV endpoint? Yeah. Then we pass the file. The file is what is stored in the food menu file. Then the response, we need to know if it was successful or not. Click on save. So we need to know if it's successful or not. So we add an event below it. And then we need to use what we call a conditional statement to check if the response code is equals to 200. So you can write a short description. Response code is equals to 200. I'm gonna add a condition. Then we need to create a 200 status code text. CSV number. So now 200, when you call an endpoint, a status code is returned. So this status code determines if the call was successful or not. So it's really helpful. So as you can see in the run endpoint action we created earlier, we are saving the status code in a variable called response code. I want to check if it's equal to 200. Click save. Now if it's equal to 200, we need to save a response, or not a response, we need to save what you call a message, a success message. A success text comes uploaded successfully. We need to save it in an app variable. So I think in earlier video we created an app variable called success message. So we use the set field. Where is it? Success message, yeah. Then we need to create the update it with the text. Okay. Click save. Then we go back. So as you can see, this is where I want to save the success message. So to help us determine if it's successful or not. Success message. And use data from success message. We bind it to the success message app variable. So whatever is inside the app variable will replace the preview value success message, as you can see. Oops, sorry. Yep. And then we need to bind the upload variable, which we've done. So we'll bind the button. So when the button is clicked, we want it to perform the upload operation. So we click the front end action, upload full menu. So we bind it to the endpoint, and then we'll build the code and test out. So this shouldn't take up to 2 minutes. Let's copy the page, add the link to the page. Let's call it upload food menu. Alright, I need to build the code again because I just updated the page. So this shouldn't take, just give me another 2 minutes. Alright, so then we click the preview button. Then we add the information. Yeah, then we upload a file. So we find our CSV file. So open. Then we click on button. Then we just wait. And you upload it successfully. Then we go to our table. Let's refresh. Food menu. As you can see, we have the information in the food menu table. In conclusion, I was able to demonstrate how to perform a CSV import into the database table that we called food menu. So we imported this CSV file, and the first step was to create a backend action, which was called the import CSV. We changed the request method to a post and the request content type to a multipath form data, and then we passed an input as an endpoint variable. Then we used the event type CSV reader to read the CSV inputs that we passed in the endpoints, and then we used the information to create records in our table, food menu table, and then we created some front-end action, a front-end action to call to trigger the endpoint when the button is clicked. We called it upload food menu. So we ensured that it was, when it was successful, we displayed a success message, and then we bound the file upload button to the app variable, which we called the food menu file. And so that when the button is clicked, which the button is when the button is clicked to trigger the upload food menu front-end action, the information is passed to the front-end action, which sends it to the back-end action to perform the creates record operation. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in another video.